Hey everyone, my name is Puru Arora and I welcome you all to this channel. Today we are looking at the problem lowest common ancestor of a binary search tree. This is a very easy problem. Now let's look at the statement. Given a binary search tree, find the lowest common ancestor of two given nodes in the binary search tree. Now what is a lowest common ancestor? A lowest common ancestor is defined between two nodes P and Q as the lowest node in T that has both P and Q as descendants, where we allow node to be descendant of itself. Now I'll explain you through this example if you haven't got clear idea what this statement represents. So we are given two nodes P and Q. Now P is 2 and Q is 8, and this is a tree that we have. In this tree we have this node that is 2 node and this node 8. Now we need to find a node that is a parent node of this, and that is the least level of parent node, like 2 and 8. 6 will be the parent node for this. Now let's see, if P and Q were 3 and 5, then this 2 and 6 will be the parent of this particular 3 and 5, but they won't be the lowest. The lowest will be 4. So I think you get the idea what is the lowest common ancestor. That is the next parent node that contains both these nodes. For example, if we take 0 and 7, then the lowest common ancestor will be 6, and 4 and 9, then also 6. If 2 and 7, then also 6. So I think you get the idea. And if P and Q is 8 and 7, then we'll have 8, because a node can be descendant of itself. So I think you get the idea what this problem is. Now let's go to example number 2. P, same tree but values are different. P is equal to 2, Q is equal to 4. So this is P, this is Q. So here 2 will be the lowest common ancestor, because a node can be a descendant of itself. Okay. Now P is not equal to Q, and P and Q will always exist in a binary search tree. Now let's write the code. One thing you should already know what a binary search tree is. If you look closely in this example, you will see that all the elements to the left are smaller than the root element, and all the elements on the right are bigger than the root element. So this is a very fundamental property that we are going to use. Okay. I'm creating a infinite loop. I'll tell you why. Once we get through the code part, I'll explain you every single line of this code. If p.val is equal to root.val or q.val is equal to root.val, return root. Else if p.val is less than root.val less than equal to, and q.val is greater than equal to root.val, return root. Else if p.val is less than root.val. Now this is the main code that we'll be using. Now I'll explain you step by step. So first I've created a loop that will iterate, through which I'll iterate, and I have created an infinite loop because whenever we find a node, as P and Q will always exist, so whenever we find it we will return. So it doesn't matter if we have an infinite loop. So if p.val is equal to root.val, so if any of these P or Q is equal to the current root, then there is no chance we will need to go downwards. This root will be the only lowest common descendant, because as this element that is a descendant of itself, there will be no child node that can be the common root. Okay, so we'll return whenever this equals. And if we see that one side, one value, that is P, we are assuming P is the smaller value and Q is the bigger value, then P lies on the left side as it is smaller than the root val, and Q lies on the right side as it is on the bigger side, bigger as compared to the root variable. Then as they are diverging into two separate paths, that is left and right, there is no chance that there will be a common node after this node that we are currently looking at. So we'll return the root. Now if we see that these two values P dot val and Q dot val, both these nodes are smaller in terms of value than the current node, then that means they lie on the left side of the current node. So we'll set our new node that we are looking at to the node that is on the left of the current node. Okay, and if that node P and Q are greater in terms of value than the root node, then we will go to the right side. Now I'll explain you through this example. Let's suppose we are trying to find this node 0. Okay, 0 and let's say 4. So as we'll check for 0 and node 0 and 4, both of these are less than 6, so we'll go to the left node. Now as we are on this left node, we see that this is less than 2 and 4 is greater than 2, hence this condition, so we will return 2. Now if we talk about example 4 and 7, so we'll see for 6, 4 is less than 6 but 7 is greater than 6, so again the same case. And if it's 7 and 9, so 7 and 9 both lie on the right side of the 6, so we'll update our node to 8, and after 8 we'll check they both lie on different sides, so we'll return 8. Okay, this is very simple logic to understand, but here one thing you need to take care is that we have made an assumption P will be always the smaller and Q will be the greater one. So we need to change that and create a logic. If that is not the case, we need to present that. Okay, so this logic will if P is greater than Q, then we'll just store the value of Q in a temporary variable and put the greater value in Q, and then put the that smaller value of Q in P. So very simple. Let's run this code. Okay, I forgot to insert an extra 2. Okay, let's submit this code. Accepted. So I hope you understood this logic. If you have any doubt, you can put it in comment section. I'll be happy to help you. So I'll see you guys in the next one.